forever home at Frogmore Cottage becomes just another brief stop for a deeply upset Prince Harry. Prince Harry's emotional connection to Frogmore Cottage, his former royal residence at Windsor Castle, has been a poignant chapter in his life. Especially since he revealed the heartache of leaving what was once envisioned as his forever home. Frogmore Cottage was a prominent part of Harry and Meghan Markle's journey within the royal family. The couple was gifted the property by Queen Elizabeth II in 2019, and they invested in a detailed renovation to make it their own. As per BBC, their stay at Frogmore Cottage, however, was short-lived. By the end of 2019, Harry and Markle announced their decision to step back from royal duties and eventually vacated the property in 2020. The cottage held many memories, including the early days of their relationship. Harry reflected on these times in his memoir Spare, where he shared, "Once upon a time, this was going to be my forever home. Instead, it had proved to be just another brief stop." In a turn of events that further cemented the finality of their departure, King Charles requested Harry and Markle to vacate Frogmore Cottage in March 2023. A source back then remarked, "The Sussex are no longer leasing Frogmore Cottage. That privilege has been removed. It's over for them in the UK. If they want a residence in the UK, they will have to buy one privately." As per Mirror, Harry's disappointment was compounded by the speculation that the cottage might soon be occupied by his uncle, Prince Andrew. Following his controversial association with Jeffrey Epstein, Andrew faced significant backlash and was asked to vacate his Grand Royal Lodge mansion. Royal expert Tom Quinn claimed, however deep the rift with his father and brother, Harry always had hopes that he and Meghan might eventually be allowed to re-establish Frogmore Cottage at Windsor as their UK base. He will be deeply upset at the prospect of his uncle Prince Andrew moving into Frogmore. A very real prospect, as King Charles insists that Andrew cannot continue to live at Royal Lodge. The 30-room mansion on the Windsor estate where Andrew has lived for decades. This move by King Charles appears to serve multiple purposes. It not only resolves the issue of Andrew's residence but also sends a clear message to Harry about his status within the royal family. Quinn elaborated, "Andrew is furious that despite his pleas to his brother to be allowed to stay at Royal Lodge, he has been given his marching order. The spat has been going on for some time. Always bullish and overly confident. Andrew was convinced that if he stood firm and continued to refuse to move, his brother would give way. But now that Charles is king, this is not going to happen." He further added, "For King Charles, forcing Andrew to move to Frogmore solves several problems at once. It sends a message to Harry that, as a private citizen and no longer a working royal, he will never be allowed back to Frogmore. It sends a message to Andrew that having disgraced himself, he can no longer expect to live in the grand style. And, finally, it means that a suitably grand residence can be made ready for the royals who really matter." William and Kate. Charles is determined that Royal Lodge is the only residence on the royal estate at Windsor that is big enough and regal enough for his heir.